Good evening, students. In our today's session, we are going to continue the prose in celebration of being alive, written by Dr. Christian Bonner. So I hope you have already learned first 7 points of the prose, in which he deals with he clearly brings out his experience of being a doctor and what compels him to pen down such a prose. So just he brings out his experience, what happened in his, what happened in when he was there admitted in a hospital. Okay, just take page number 68, point number 8. What happened there at that morning was that a nurse had left a breakfast trolley unattended, and very soon this trolley was commanded by an notice it? Intrepid crew of two, a driver and a mechanic. The mechanic provided motor power by galloping along behind the trolley with his head down, while the driver, seated on the mower deck, held on with one hand and steered by scraping his foot on the floor. The choice of roles was easy because the mechanic was totally blind and the driver had only one arm. So in our previous class, we came to know that he came to realize the essence of life only after seeing two children, how they played their games. I already told you. This incident happened in his hospital where he was working. What is the name of the hospital? What is that? Red Cross Children's Hospital, where it is actually? It is in Cape Town. Okay. So here he says that what happened there at morning was a nurse had left the breakfast trolley attended. So there is a breakfast trolley which is not taken, taken after serving food to the patients. It is still there in a ward. And very soon this trolley was commanded by an intrepid crew of two. So this trolley is taken over by what is that crew? What do you mean by crew? Member of a group. Here, two members. One is a driver and another one is a mechanic who are intrepid. What is that intrepid? Who are bold, who are courageous, who are, who are daring. The mechanic provided motor power by galloping along, behind the trolley with his head down, while the driver, seated on the mower deck, held on with one hand and steered by scraping his foot on the floor. So there are two, we know that. One is it is a crew of two, one is a driver and another one is a mechanic. Mechanic, what is the role of a mechanic here? He is providing the motor power to the trolley because he is moving the trolley at a great speed. Okay, while the driver, seated on the mower deck, held on with one hand and steered with scraping his foot on the floor. So another one boy is playing the role of a mechanic because he provides mechanical power to the trolley. What is the role of the other boy? He takes the role of a driver. He just looks at his fingers and he wonders how these fingers are beautiful, like Saravana, no? How he is wondering in our classroom. So here, another boy, what he is doing? He's sitting on the deck, front part, and he's steering that. What is it? He's steering that trolley. Can the trolley can be steered? But he's doing such action by scraping his foot on the floor. So here, these two boys play games, and one is taking the role of a mechanic, and another one is taking the role of a driver. They are making some fun by using that trolley, which is not taken back by the nurse, which is still in the ward. The choice of roles was easy because the mechanic was totally blind and the driver had only one arm. So was there actually how they decide to take roles? Is there any problem between them in engaging certain roles? Who has to be the driver and who has to be the mechanic? Actually, there is no problem at all because mechanic is totally blind. Okay, driver has to see no. So here the driver has only one arm and he is given the role of a mechanic. Mechanic has to do something with his hand. So the boy who has both hands and who has no vision, am I right? He is the mechanic there, and another boy who can see and who who can operate the steering with one hand. There is no steering at all, but they are doing such action. Point number 9, they put on quite a show that day, judging by the laughter and shouts of encouragement from the rest of the patients. It was much better entertainment than anything one puts on at the Indianapolis 500 car race. There was a grand finale of scattered plates and silverware before the nurse and ward sister caught up with them, scolded them, and put them back to bed. So what happened in point number 8? So they are playing, just they are taking a trolley which is there in the ward and they are playing games as we used to play in our childhood. No, one is actually there is something, they are showing some what is dramatic performance. One is taking the role of a mechanic, another one is taking the role of a driver. So here all the other patients, they enjoy the performance given by these two children. Okay, judging by the laughter and shouts of encouragement from the rest of all the patients, they take part. They are being a part of that act. And what is their part in that act? Just they are cheering them up. They are cheering them up by shouts of encouragement. They are just cheering them up, and it is something for them, the patient, as far as the patients who are there in the ward, who are admitted in that hospital, as far as they are concerned, it is something better than the Indianapolis 500 car race. It is something better than the car race, their game. No, they are in a position. All these patients are sick. No, they want to have some sort of enjoyment. So the enjoyment is provided by these two boys, so that they consider this performance by these two boys better than the car race. So what is the finale part? So grand finale happens when the nurse comes and just they do scattered plates and silverware. So when the nurse comes, no, she finds all the plates are scattered because of the act of these two children. So what she is doing then? She catches them and she makes them sleep. She's asking them to sleep. What is point number 10? Let me tell you about these two. The mechanic was all of 7 years old. One night when his mother and father were drunk, his mother threw a lantern at his father. Mist and lantern broke over child's head and shoulders. He suffered severe third-degree burns on the upper part of his body and lost both his eyes. At the time of the Grand Prix, he was a walking horror with a disfigured face and long flap of skin hanging from the side of his neck to his body. As the wound healed around his neck, his lower jaw became gripped in a mass of fibrous tissue. The only way this little boy could open his mouth was to raise his head. When I stopped by to see him after the race, he said, "You know we won." And he was laughing. So now the writer, he conveys us what has happened to the boy who is acting as a mechanic. Okay, so he is about a boy of only 7 years old. He is about a boy of only 7 years old. It's a small kid. So what happened to him? Why he has become blind? So what is that? There is a fight between father and mother. Father is a drunkard. At that time, the mother, no, at the point of argument and fight, the mother, she throws a lantern at his father. But this boy, he gets affected. What happens there? The lantern breaks over this boy's head and shoulders, and he is affected by severe third-degree burns. What do you mean by third-degree burns? It will destroy both epidermis and dermis. Okay, so just both his muscles and bones are too affected because of this burns. So here he has burns on upper part of the body, and because of which he has to lose his vision. Okay. So what he is doing in this hospital, no, at the time of Grand Prix, as this writer suggests, no, why he refers the act of boys as Grand Prix. Grand Prix. What do you mean by Grand Prix? I told you yesterday. One of the several racing events. I told you no. So here, since the audience, the patients who take the role of audience, all of them enjoy the play. No, the play. I mean, the game played by the student. I mean, children, and so they take part as audience in that act. So the writer compares this act as Grand Prix. He was a walking horror. He was a walking horror with a disfigured face and long flap of skin hanging from the side of his neck to his body. So at the time of the act, at the time of the play, he walks like he acts like a walking horror. No, everybody they look scared. They look scared after seeing that boy because he doesn't have a complete face. He has a face which is disfigured. His face is completely spoiled and mad. Okay. Long flap of skin hanging from the side of his neck to his body. Okay. There is a long flap of skin which is just hanging from his side to the neck. As the wound healed around the neck, his lower jaw became gripped in a mass of fibrous tissue. So he cannot open his mouth easily. He has to raise his hand, then only he can open his mouth because of the burns, because of the wound. Okay. So even then, the boy quiet and he enjoys the game and he feels happy for winning that game. He expresses the same to the author. I mean, the doctor. Point number 11, the trolley's driver I knew better. A few years earlier, I had successfully closed a hole in his heart. He had returned to the hospital because he had a malignant tumor of the bone. A few days before the race, his shoulder and arm were amputated. There was little hope of his recovery after the Grand Prix. He proudly informed me that the trolley's wheels were not properly oiled, but he was a good driver and he had full confidence in the mechanic. So he has explained in the earlier paragraph about the mechanic who is blind. So in this paragraph, he speaks about the driver who knows him better. So what is it? This boy was already admitted in the hospital for his heart problem because he had a hole in his heart. He had returned to the hospital because he had a malignant tumor. Now he is there in the hospital because he has developed some sort of malignant, very dangerous growth, which may lead to any kind of dangerous disease. That is known as, it may be cancerous sometimes. A few days before the race, his shoulder and arm were amputated. So he has performed a surgery in which his arm and shoulder has been removed. There was little hope of his recovery. So the doctor feels that whether he can recover or not, that is a question. After the Grand Prix, he proudly informed me that the trolley's wheels were not properly oiled, but he was a good driver. So this boy, despite his being, he knows that he is a patient. He has been admitted in the hospital, but he doesn't know what will happen to him afterwards, whether he will be completely cured of his problem. But he is not worrying that. But he enjoys being a part of the game, and he expresses that the trolley should be oiled. But he has performed his act well as a good driver, and he fully believes in the acts of the mechanic too. Point number 12. Suddenly, I realized that these two children had given me a profound lesson in getting on with the business of living. So now he comes to realize why he is penning down this prose. What is the need to worry about simple things? Why should I worry? Why should I care for myself? Why should I care for my wife? These are the questions which come in the mind of the writer. So he feels, in the earlier paragraph, we have seen that we have seen him worrying for their condition, for their plight, because they have admitted in the hospital. Now he is realizing, how he comes to realize slowly that he is not sleeping like our Kameshwaran, but he is fully awake. He is just there to find out the reason how these boys are enjoying their life without any sort of worry. So suddenly I realized that these two children had given me a profound lesson. They have taught him a great lesson of life. In getting on with the business of living, we are here to lead our life. It is our business to live our life. We are not here to earn money. We are not here to do something, but it is our duty to, we are destined to do something in this world. That is primary thing is to lead our life. Just we don't need to care about other things. Keeping other things, no, we don't have to think about other things. Just concentrate on your standard of living. Just think about, and you should keep something in your mind that you should enjoy your life, because the business of living is joy in the real sense of the word, not just something for pleasure, amusement, recreation. So here, the business of living is joy, completely mixed with happiness, extreme level of happiness. You should feel satisfied after leading your life. You should not have that feeling that I should have a life of someone else. This is not my life. I would like to be an actor. I would like to be something else. So here, instead of feeling that, we should be satisfied for what we have been given, what we have been granted by God. The business of living is a celebration of being alive. The first thing for us to be happy, that what is that? What is that thing? We should feel happy for being alive. We are here to enjoy this moment. We are here in this world. We know what is happening around the world at this time because we are living. Okay. So next answer, so next paragraph, I had been looking at suffering from the wrong end. You don't become a better person because you are suffering, but you become a better person because you have experienced suffering. We can't appreciate light if we have not known darkness, nor can we appreciate warmth if we have never suffered cold. These children showed me that it's not what you have lost that is important. What is important is what you have left. So here, no, he comes to realize that he has been living his life from the wrong end. So you cannot be a better person. You cannot be a better part. You cannot be a purer person because you are suffering. You face a lot of challenges in your life that will not make you a better person. Instead, you have to understand your life from different point of idea, so that you can easily grasp for why you have given this life. We can't appreciate light. We have not known darkness. Unless you know darkness, you cannot understand the power of light. Okay, so here, that is the reason we should be happy for this life. He says the children showed me that it is not what you've lost that is important. We have to lose something in our life. It will happen as days go on. That is a part of our life, but we should not worry about what we have lost, but we can focus on what we can do and what we are left with, what is in our hands. Just concentrate on that, and you can do better by using those resources instead of worrying about what you have lost, what you have missed, what you cannot do, because you cannot control certain things which are not in your control. So you can think about certain things in which you can make some changes. Okay, this is ends paragraph 13. Just a moment. Okay. So here, this is a prose by Dr. Christian Barnard, in which we come to know the essence of life. We also can learn something about the essence of life through this post-work. So here just he lists out some sort of experience that he has gained throughout his professional life being a doctor. So here, even being a doctor, he worries a lot for his condition for being admitted in a hospital along with his wife. So just one day he realizes that why should he worry about such things? Because it is our life. Each and every moment should be realized. That kind of lesson is taught to him by two children who are playing simply, a simple game they are playing using a trolley which is there in the hospital. So after seeing the game, one boy is taking the role of a mechanic in that game, another one is just he is given a role of a driver. These two boys, one is blind and another one is another one boy's arm and shoulders have been amputated. So even at this condition, they enjoy their life. Even being at that condition, they enjoy their life. So the lesson, he has learned that lesson, profound lesson from these two boys. So that is what he wants to convey as life is a celebration. It's enjoy your life. Be happy for each and every moment of your life. You can do wonders by using which you can make changes. So this is what he tries to convey us in this lesson. So the important point is the children showed me that it is not what we have lost. So what we have lost is not important, but we should care for what we can do, what you are having in your hands. That is more important than anything else. இது கொஞ்சம் இப்ப தமிழ்ல சொல்ல 8th பாயிண்ட் வரைக்கும் நேத்திக்கு 7 பாயிண்ட்ஸ் பார்த்தோமா நேத்தி 8 பாயிண்ட்ல இருந்து சொன்னோம் இல்லையா? சோ 8th பாயிண்ட்ல என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா அவங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் கேம் விளையாண்டாங்கன்னு நான் சொன்னேன் இல்ல, என்ன கேம் விளையாண்டாங்கன்னா ஒரு ட்ராலி வச்சு விளையாடிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஒரு ட்ராலி வச்சு ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல வார்ட்ல அட்மிட் ஆயிருக்கிற குழந்தைகள் வந்து என்ன விளையாடுவாங்க? போர் அடிக்கல, எவ்வளவு நேரம் சும்மாவே படுத்துன்னு இருக்க முடியும். சோ அப்ப நர்ஸ் அந்த ட்ராலி அங்க வச்சுட்டு போனோடனே இந்த ரெண்டு குழந்தைல என்ன பண்றது? விளையாட ஆரம்பிக்கிறது. ஒண்ணு வந்து டிரைவரா இருக்க ரோல் எடுத்துக்கிறது, இன்னொரு குழந்தை வந்து மெக்கானிக்கா எடுத்துக்கிறது. மெக்கானிக்கா எடுத்துக்கிறது யாரு அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோன்னா அந்த பையன் மெக்கானிக்கோட வேலை கையில இருக்கு இல்லையா? சோ அவனுக்கு கண்ணு தெரியாது, அதனால பிளைண்ட் பாய் வந்து மெக்கானிக் ரோல் எடுத்துக்கிறான். சோ இன்னொரு பையன் நான் டிரைவர் கண்ணு பார்த்தாதான் வண்டி ஓட்ட முடியும், அதனால கை இல்லாத பையன் என்ன பண்றான், அவன் வந்து டிரைவர் ஆயிக்கிறான். சோ மெக்கானிக் அவனுக்கு ஏன் அந்த கண்டிஷன் பிளைண்ட் கண்டிஷன் எப்படி வந்தது? சின்ன 7 வயசு பையனுக்கு எப்படி அவன் பிளைண்ட் ஆனான் அப்படின்னா, அப்பா அம்மாவுக்கு 2 பேருக்கும் சண்டை. லாந்தர் விளக்குன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. லேண்டனை வந்து அம்மா தூக்கி எறிகிற, அப்பா மேல படாம குழந்தை மேல பட்டு பயங்கர அப்பர் பாடியில ஃபுல்லா காயம், 3rd டிகிரி பர்ன்ஸ், மொத்தமா உள்ளெல்லாம் அப்படியே செதஞ்சு போயிடுது. அப்ப அதுல அவனோட ஐசைட்டும் மொத்தமா போயிடுது. சோ ஐசைட் போனதுனாலதான் அந்த குழந்தை இப்படி இவ்வளவு இந்த சைட்ல ஒரு பிளாப் ஆஃப் ஸ்கின் அப்படி மொத்தம் அப்படி தொங்கிட்டு இருக்கு. ஒரு மாதிரி டிஸ்பிகர்டா இருக்கு, ஒரு ஷேப்லெஸ்ஸா இருக்கு ஃபேஸே. ஒரு மாதிரி பார்க்கவே அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு வாக்கிங் ஹாரர் மாதிரி இருக்கு அந்த குழந்தைய பார்க்க. சரியா? பட் ஈவன் அந்த கண்டிஷன்ல இருந்தா கூட அந்த குழந்தை வந்து அவங்களோட லைஃப் என்ஜாய் பண்ண, நாங்க ஜெயிச்சுக்கோம் விளையாடுறோம், சின்ன குழந்தை எல்லாம் நம்ம ஹாப்பியா அந்த மொமெண்ட் வந்து ஹாப்பினஸ் அப்படியே சொல்லிடுவாங்க. அப்படியே அது வீட்டுக்கு போனா என்ன சண்டை கிடக்கும், திட்டுவாங்க, அதெல்லாம் பத்தி நம்மளாம் தான் யோசிப்போம், அவெல்லாம் யோசிக்க மாட்டாளே. சோ அந்த குழந்தை என்ன வி ஓன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவ்வளவு சந்தோஷமா விளையாடுறது. இப்ப இன்னொரு பையனை பத்தி சொல்றாரு. அந்த பையன் யாரு அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா உஜட் பாய். ஹீஸ் யார் அது? டிரைவரா இருக்கான் இல்லையா? அவன் என்ன பண்றான், அவனுக்கு ஒரு கை தான் இருக்கு. ஒரு கை, இன்னொரு கைக்கு என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்? ஆல்ரெடி அவன் ஒரு பேஷண்டா இருந்திருக்க இதே ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல. ஹார்ட்ல அவனுக்கு ஒரு ஹோல் இருந்திருக்கு. அதுக்காக ஆல்ரெடி அட்மிட் ஆன பையன். இப்போ வந்து அது ஓகேன்ட்டு மறுபடியும் வந்து அவனுக்கு ஏதோ ஒரு மேலிக்னன்ட் டியூமர், ரொம்ப டேஞ்சரஸான ஒரு கட்டி இருக்கு. அது மேபி அது டெஸ்ட் எல்லாம் பண்ணாதான் அவனுக்கு தெரியும். அது வந்து அவனோட லைஃப் வந்து ஹிஸ் லைஃப் இஸ் அட் ரிஸ்க். உழைப்பானா இல்லையாங்கிறதே தெரியாது. அது வந்து கேன்சரஸா இருந்தா ரொம்ப டேஞ்சரஸ். அது பயங்கரமான ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் ரொம்ப சிவியரா கொடுக்கணும். பட் அதுலதான் அவனுக்கு வந்து என்ன பண்ணிருக்காங்க, ஒரு ஷோல்டரும் ஒரு ஆர்மும் ஆம்பிடேட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க, எடுத்து ரிமூவ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. சோ ரிமூவ் பண்ணதுனால கூட அந்த ஒரு கை வச்சுனே அந்த குழந்தை அவனால என்னென்ன பண்ண முடியுமோ பண்ணி விளையாடுறான், ஹாப்பியா இருக்கான். அதை பத்தி அவனுக்கு கவலை இல்ல. அவன் என்ன சொல்றான், ட்ராலிக்கு நான் என்ன ஓடுவேன், நீங்க சரியா ஓட மாட்டேங்குது. அவனோட டிரைவரோட இதை வந்து கரெக்டா ரோல் எடுத்துக்கிறான். அவனுக்கு அந்த பையன் மேல நம்பிக்கை, மெக்கானிக் நல்லா ஒர்க் பண்றாங்கிற மாதிரி அவன் ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருக்கான். இப்ப இவ 2 பேரும் பார்த்த ஒரு மொமெண்ட் தான் அவருக்கு புரியுது. அவர் ஃபீல் பண்றாருல எடுத்த உடனே, என்ன நம்புறேன், நான் ஒரு டாக்டர், எனக்கு நிறைய பேஷண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கா, நிறைய சர்ஜரி பண்ணும், நிறைய பேஷண்ட்ஸ் பார்க்கணும், நான் வந்து ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்லையே அட்மிட் ஆனோம், என் ஒய்ஃப் குழந்தை இருக்கு, அந்த குழந்தைய பார்க்க வேண்டாமா, ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் அட்மிட் ஆயிருக்குமா, நாங்க என்ன தப்பு பண்ணோம், இதுதான் காட் வந்து நம்மள பியூரிஃபை பண்ற மெத்தட், இஸ் இஸ் த வே he can conduct test for us ன்னு சொல்லி கேக்குறாரு இல்லையா. நமக்கு இப்படிதான் பரீட்சை பண்ணணுமா அப்படின்னு அதுக்கு பிலீஃப் இல்ல. இந்த மொமெண்ட் ரியலைஸ் பண்றாரு. நம்ம ஏன் வந்து why I should analyze life from a wrong point of view. இன்னொரு வே இருக்கு இல்லையா, பாசிட்டிவ் ஆஸ்பெக்ட்னு ஒண்ணு இருக்குல்ல. நெகட்டிவாவே நான் எப்பயும் ஏன் கஷ்டம் கஷ்டம் கஷ்டம்னு நான் யோசனை பண்றேனே, அந்த சைட்ல இருந்து பார்க்கலாம். இந்த மொமெண்ட் அந்த குழந்தை நாளைக்கு அவன் இருப்பானா இல்லையா அந்த பையனை பத்தி தெரியாது, அவனோட கண்டிஷன் அவனுக்கே தெரியாது இல்லையா. பட் ஆனா கூட அந்த பையன் வந்து எவ்வளவு சந்தோஷமா அவனோட லைஃப், இது பெரிய லெசன் எனக்கு அப்படின்னு அவ எடுத்துக்கிறார். நம்மளோட மெயின்லி நம்மளோட டாஸ்க் என்னன்னா, நம்ம வந்து பெரிய ஆளாகணும்னு இங்க வரல, நம்ம பேர் வாங்கணும், இந்த பேர் வாங்கணும்னு அவளை எதுக்கு வரோம், நம்ம செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணணும் லைஃப். ஒவ்வொரு மொமெண்ட்டும் the business of living is a celebration of being alive. நம்ம உயிரோட இருக்கிறதே பெரிய செலிப்ரேஷன் தான். இந்த நிமிஷம் நம்ம இருக்கிறதே பெரிய செலிப்ரேஷன் சொல்றேன். அப்ப வந்து இவர் இத்தனை நாள நான் வந்து லைஃப வந்து தப்பான பாயிண்ட்ல புரிஞ்சுட்டேன். என்னோட லைஃப் நான் இப்ப பெட்டர், ஒரு சஃபரிங் ஒரு கஷ்டம் வந்தா அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் பெட்டர் ஆயிடுவேன் நினைக்கிறது வந்து தப்பு. அப்படி நம்ம யோசனை பண்ணக்கூடாது. சஃபரிங்ல நம்ம இருக்கோம் இல்லையா, நம்ம அட்லீஸ்ட் அதுதான் சர்வைவ் பண்றோம் இல்லையா, அதுவே பெரிய பிளஸ்ஸிங்னு நம்ம ஃபீல் பண்ணோம். நம்ம இருட்டுல போனாதானே நம்ம லைட்டோட வெளிச்சம் தெரியும். நம்ம சொல்லுவாங்க, நிழல்ல போனாதான், வெயில்ல போனாதான் நிழலோட அருமை தெரியும்னு சொல்றோம்ல, அந்த மாதிரிதான். இருட்டு இருந்தாதான் லைட்டு நம்ம பரவாயில்ல, சின்ன லைட் இருந்தா கூட பரவாயில்லன்னு நமக்கு தோணும். அது மாதிரிதான் கஷ்டமே நம்ம அப்படியே நம்ம யோசிக்கிறோம். கஷ்டம் வரப்பதான் நம்ம பரவாயில்ல, அட்லீஸ்ட் நம்ம இருக்கோமே, இருந்தா தானே நம்மளால ட்ரை பண்ண, நம்மளால சால்வ் பண்ண முடியாது, பிரச்சனை இல்லைங்கிற ஒரு கான்பிடன்ஸ் எப்ப வரும், நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் நம்ம இருந்தா தானே அதை சால்வ் பண்ண முடியும். நம்ம இல்லாம நம்மளோட ரோல் வேற யாரும் எடுக்க முடியாது இல்லையா. சோ அவர் என்ன சொல்றாரு, என்ன நீ இழந்தையோ, என்ன உன் கையை விட்டு போச்சோ அதை பத்தி நீ கவலைப்படக்கூடாது. உன் கையில என்ன மிச்சம் இருக்கோ அதுல இருந்து நீ என்னென்ன பண்ண முடியும், உன்னால என்ன பண்ண முடியுங்கிறதுதான் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்னு சொல்றாரு. சரியா? Now let us see the discussion questions. Give an account of the medical problems for which the 2 boys were hospitalized. These 2 children had given me a profound lesson. Elucidate. Describe the Grand Prix at Cape Town's Red Cross Children's Hospital. So these are the 3 important questions that you need to study. Okay. I hope you all have understood this lesson clearly. What is the title? Celebration of Being Alive by Dr. Christian Barnabas. I hope you all have understood this one. Let us all meet in our next session. Thank you.